Avast ye mateys, the strategic plundering game Sid Meier's Pirates has lifted its anchor and again set sails for the high seas, but this time, its sights are set on the Nintendo Wii, a fine choice for pillaging and looting. Pillage, pillage, loot, loot, it's a pirate's life for Wii. But unfortunately, this old galleon doesn't have quite as much booty as it used to. Sid Meier's Pirates has been around for a long time. The original game was released in 1987 for a slew of computer platforms, and 17 years later, the game was completely remade. Now this Wii version is a 2010 port of that 2004 remake, a game that's now dropped anchor on just about every platform imaginable. Of course, there's a reason Sid Meier's Pirates has been such a widespread release over the years, and the reason is simple. This is a great strategy game that really lets players live the life of a buccaneer. You can attack ships that are minding their own business, you can romance women from port to port, and generally terrorize the high seas in Sid Meier's Pirates. You start your pirating career by naming your ruffian and then adjusting his look. Afterwards, you choose which era you'd like to sail in. There are 5 periods in the 1600s to choose from, and each era has unique characteristics which affect the gameplay. Then, once you choose a nation to associate with, you finally set sail, and your new pirate's fate is left entirely in your hands.
Win and tall. Don't impart.
What's really impressive about Sid Meier's Pirates is the sense of freedom it creates. You're free to set sail wherever you'd like in the Caribbean, whenever you'd like, and in true pirate form, do whatever you'd like when you get there. It's like the game adapts to you, like it plays the way you want it to. It's a pretty liberating feeling, and although there are objectives and a sense of structure to your progression, Pirates does an excellent job of at least creating the illusion of freedom. The bulk of the game takes place at sea. You sail the Caribbean from above, like you're looking down at a map that's been brought to life. It's from this view that you make most of your decisions, whether to open fire on passing ships or set course for a trading port. Of course, no matter which destination you choose, you'll have to have enough food and supplies to make the trip. After all, a restless crew of hungry buccaneers isn't exactly good company to keep. In that sense, you start to see the degree of complexity at the core of Sid Meier's Pirates. There's a long list of business to manage, from the size of your fleet and the spirits of your crew, to your ship's appearance and your business priorities. You can play as a self-serving pirate who would double-cross any nation to increase his own wealth, or you can play as an altruistic captain who trades goods and does people favors. The choice is entirely up to you, and that sort of open-ended feel really makes Sid Meier's Pirates tough to put down. Of course, it can also be tough to get into, and that's one of the strange things about this game. As complex and involved as it is, it doesn't really ease you into things. There's not much of a tutorial to speak of, so you're basically told to walk the plank and hop right into the game. Obviously, if you give it some time, you'll get the hang of things, but at first, it can be a little overwhelming, especially for someone inexperienced with these kinds of simulation games. And given the demographics of this particular platform, that could be a bit of a problem. A definite issue, however, are the mini-games. You see, when you're not sailing your ship and visiting local watering holes, you sometimes have to play mini-games in Sid Meier's Pirates, some of which are exclusive to the Wii version. And though they do break up the gameplay a bit, some of them are marred by unresponsive controls. The sword fighting minigame and the dancing minigame, which you have to play to court the game's more respectable ladies, are perhaps the biggest culprits. Evidently, Waggle didn't work on the high seas either. But the occasional bad minigame isn't enough to sink this ship. And the game does feel old on Wii. You can definitely tell it's been around the Caribbean a few times before, and quite frankly, it was also much better in past journeys. But any Wii owner who enjoys strategy and simulation games, but hasn't yet wet their whistle with this bottle of rum, should definitely consider batting down the hatches and running a shot across the bow in Sid Meier's Pirates.
Bola, lumri. Arriva, Loni.